What is going on, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today I have an awesome video planned for you. We are taking a look at a bunch of awesome EDC knives that come in right around that $50 price point and under, and most of these are going to be well under $40. While we're getting started, let me know down in the comments what your EDC is for today. The first knife we are going to kick this list off with is the Free Tiger FT81. These are going to come in right around $30. Right now it has a coupon code for 5% off, so nothing crazy, but not too expensive to begin with. We are looking at about 3.5 inches on the plus side of D2 steel. We have a two-tone finish on that drop point blade. Great do-it-all type of blade shape. We have a flipper tab with some jimping, solid detent. We have Ultim for our top handle material here, and then we have a steel liner construction, and then a G10 backspacer, hidden lanyard post. It is a deep carry clip. Your screws aren't recessed here, and it's not going to be left-hand carry. I think you'll be fine in most pants unless it has a overly thick seam. Nothing too special about this one, but it is going to be a solid knife for right around that $30 price point. Next up, we're taking a look at one coming in from Fintizo, and this is called the Parrot. Now, right now, this knife is coming in at 39 bucks for the G10 variant. They do have other versions that might vary in price, but the G10 one here is coming in at 38 bucks, and we're looking at 3 inches of 14C28N. Nice satin finish on that sheepsfoot blade. Sharpening choil could be better. That is my only knock on this knife, especially at the price point. Not going to go too crazy with the nitpicks. We are looking at dual thumb studs, and they're done well. Everything's chamfered out nicely, so they're easy to get to. The plunge lock is really nice, and we got a strong spring in there. Very easy access to that button. And so far, so good with the plunge lock here as far as strength. We have a G10 on G10 overlay. We have a steel liner construction, a deep carry clip, and it is going to be reversible, and it is recessed. This is a really nice knife for 38 bucks given the materials. If we could notch in a little better sharpening choil, it will be a home run. And if I didn't say, I will have all these knives linked down below in the description in the order that you see them. Hopefully, I will try to do my best to keep them in order, but they will all be linked down below in the description there. We do have another one here from Kaiser, and this is called the Nice Guy. We are looking at D2 steel. The particular version I'm talking about doesn't have this branding here, but it's going to be the exact same. You can get satin or uncoated like you see here, and then it's a black aluminum handle. So all the same aesthetics, you just won't have the writing on both sides here. We have a nice 50-50 area here to choke up, and that's what really sold this knife for me. Upon the double jimping and the really solid flipper and detent, this thing rockets out. And then you have these really nice aluminum handles. They have that kind of chalky feel to them, so they have some nice grip. We are looking at Kaiser's deep carry clip, and it is going to be reversible. We do have an Azo design here, so all the things that we look for are going to be on this knife. Good access to the liner there to disengage this thing. And as I said, the action is phenomenal. About 2.8 inches of cutting edge here, and the price of this one is going to come in right around $30. Next up, we are going to spice things up with, this is more of a multi-tool in a sense because it has more than one thing going on. But this is from Roxxon, and this is the S502U. And I love this little thing. If you're looking for just you're looking for a plier-less multi-tool, basically you need a blade and you want something to back that up. You can pick this up and you got yourself basically almost a full set of scissors, and they are really nice. And then we have a pocket clip on this thing. Yeah, it is going to be tip down carry for this particular thing. But getting those scissors with this, I think, is phenomenal, and you can still throw the blade out. These usually come in right around 25 bucks, and we are going to be looking at 3 inches of 8CR. Nice little sharpening choil there. So the steel's not going to be crazy special, but for 25 bucks to get 8CR, which is not that bad, especially at that price point, and to get a nice pair of scissors, be able to pocket this. We have a liner lock there for our blade, and you can adjust this and do some various things with adding and taking away things with these scales and rocks on, but that's a whole different ball game. But for 25 bucks, I think this is a really solid option, especially a backup to your primary knife. I think this would be really nice to have, especially at $25. Next up, one of the more expensive on this list is the Mulsect Orbit, and I really like this knife. Mulsect isn't a company I really knew of until very recently. This knife comes in right around 50 bucks. We're looking at 3 1/4 of 14C 28N. Really nice pokey drop point blade. We have this flat running into a swedge, little blood groove there, or fuller, if you will. Nice little sharpening choil. That fuller is mainly for looks, and it is for looks. This is going to be a front flipper deployment, and let me tell you what, this is how a front flipper is designed. It's above the frame of the knife. We have really fine jimping that runs all the way up and over. You have a jimp in the perfect place to really rocket this thing out, and it is also combined with a really nice detent. The only place this knife didn't get a pass from me was it didn't have a reversible pocket clip. If this had a reversible pocket clip, man, I mean, it's still a great knife, but, you know, I got to check mark that spot. But if you're not lefty, it doesn't matter to you. And it does have a place for a lanyard hole. No branding on the blade, just their little logo there. We do have pretty decent access. It's chamfered off on the show side liner. That is steel, chamfered and jimped there. So pretty good, I should say. I really like this knife, though. You can get a nice, comfortable grip on it. Really like what Mulsect is doing, especially coming in right around 50 bucks. Now, this one here might be the most expensive. This is coming from Lothar. This is the Raphael, and I believe a viewer brought this up, but they said they thought this was after the Ninja Turtle, right? Raphael. It's got the green with the red, kind of his headband, if you will. Either way, this comes in right around 53 bucks. It's really cool if you like stuff that's flashy, or you like the Ninja Turtles, or you just like this design and this colorway. This is pretty cool. We have aluminum anodized scales here. We have coated red hardware all the way around, except for the pocket clip there. That's going to be polished. We're going to be looking at 14C 28N, nice stonewash blade. The sharpening choil could be better, but, you know, 50 bucks. I think they'll eventually get it right. We do have studs there for deployment, plunge lock, really solid spring on this thing, and it's easy to get to both those studs there. This comes in right around 53 bucks, and that is not a bad price at all for 14C, heat treated 59 to 60, and we have aluminum here with a reversible deep carry clip. That is a solid offering from Lothar. Next up, I got another multi-tool for you. This is the O-Knife U1 Pro. So they did the U1, and that was a solid option for a cutting tool that's not a pocket knife, right? It's got a rechangeable utility blade here, and it's one of the best. It is. You have some of the best when it comes to exposed edge. So a lot of them, you're only getting like a quarter. Here you're getting like 3/4, and you can really choke up behind this if you need to get on it. Really easy blade changes here. You just unscrew that, and there's a spring under here. Slide it out, screw it back in, and you're in business. We are looking at dual thumb studs, and the action on this is as addictive as hell. Really good access to the crossbar there, and also built in with a plunge style lock is a bit driver here that holds micro bits. So that's a really nice touch with this thing. Not only do you have the ability to have this as a backup, but you can throw a T6-8 combo in here and be able to maintain the other pocket knives you have with you or some of the other gear that you have with you. Really cool offering, 35 bucks, rechangeable utility blade here from O Knife. Really like this one. It's probably that I have handled the best affordable utility knife in the game. Next up, coming in from Dispatch. This is, I don't think it has a name. I think it might have a name, but I don't know it. These come in right around 26 bucks. They're a little bit newer of a company to me. I think this has a name. If it does, I'll pop it up. But we're looking at 26 bucks, and we got D2 steel here. It's stone washed, a nice drop point blade, a nice sharpening choil. We have dual thumb studs for deployment. We have a crossbar locking this thing up, and it's got really nice action here. Good solid springs, good access to the crossbar, and the closing action is really, really good. We have textured G10. We have a deep carry clip. It's a little long. I would change it, but for 26 bucks, not going to get too crazy. It is reversible, and that makes this a completely ambidextrous knife and going to be nice to sharpen. You have a strong, durable lock. For 26 bucks, you could do a whole hell of a lot worse than this Dispatch knife. Easily one of the winners on this list here, coming in from CJRB. This is the Acacia here, and these come in right around 30 bucks, and that is a solid ass price for what you're getting here. We're looking at 3 1/4 of blade here in RPM 9, stonewash finish, drop point blade, very versatile. We have a cutout here for deployment, and the crossbar lock on this Acacia is phenomenal, and I have heard the same story. I've had a couple of these myself, and I know a lot of other people who have these, and it is really solid and addictive action. We have textured FRN here, which is completely fine, especially at $30, and when it's this well done and finished. We're looking at a deep carry clip here, and it is going to be reversible. It's made out of steel. We have a completely ambidextrous knife here, coming in some solid materials. This thing is definitely built for just everyday use, and at 30 bucks, that is a solid option. Next up, we got the big old boy coming in from Sativian, the ST133. Right now, usually these stay at a pretty strict 30, but right now they're coming in at 24 bucks. While I'm recording this, the Prime Spring deal is going on, so some of these knives may or may not be on sale, but a lot of times these knives are on sale anyway. We are going to be looking at a black washed D2 blade here, coming in about 3.5 inches overall. Nice sharpening choil there. We have some natural micarta here over top of some steel liners, G10 backspacer, integrated lanyard hole, a deep carry clip that is going to be right hand carry only. It's recessed, but the screws aren't. Plenty of room in there for most pockets. Good access to the liner here, and a flipper tab for deployment with a snappy action. Love this little dull grind action they have going on here. Gives that leading edge up here and that tip a little bit more strength behind it, which is nice. And then you have a little bit thinner back here to give you a little bit more slicing efficiency. This is a good size knife, coming in about 8.5 inches overall, maybe like 8.4. And this thing is really solid given the price. And if you like big, fat knives, you're going to love this one. This is the Valhalla Lord here, and typically these are on sale for like 50 bucks. Well, right now this is coming in at 35 bucks. We're going to be looking at a two-tone finish, satin and blasted D2 blade. It's more of a stonewash, not a blasted. We have dual thumb studs for deployment here. I've always related this to the proponent's brother, just in a drop point fashion. That is how big and robust this knife is. We're looking at 3.6 inches of cutting edge, about 3.8 of total blade here. We do have a steel frame lock here, steel pocket clip, and a steel backspacer. The hardware and backspacer is all black anodized. Good access to the lock bar, But yeah, if you're like me and you like a little bit larger, beefier knife once in a while, right? This thing will definitely fill that itch if you're not looking to break the bank. I always got to squeak this in somewhere along the lines. I absolutely love this knife. I bought this knife, I think, when was that? 2022, I think I bought this knife. The SOG Terminus XR, these used to come in right around 50, 55 bucks, maybe even a little bit more. But nowadays you can pick these up right around $40, and you're going to be getting a solid package on this thing. You're looking at Cryo D2, about 2.9 inches of cutting edge here. Nice drop point blade, dual thumb studs for deployment. Really snappy lock. This is their crossbar lock. They call it the XR lock, hence the Terminus XR. And it is a really well done crossbar lock. And you incorporate that flipper, which a lot of companies have trouble getting right, a flipper and crossbar combo. They absolutely crushed this thing and just gave it a nice action, a really solid treated D2. We have a deep carry clip here, and it is going to be reversible, making this an ambidextrous knife and one of the best values on the list. Next up, this beast in front of you is coming in from F and Grow. This is the 973. And these are coming in at 21 bucks right now. This thing is an absolute monster. It does come in a couple different variations, as do many of these knives. We are looking at 21 bucks, and for that, you're going to be getting 4 inches of D2 with a black wash finish. Nice drop point blade. Sharpening choil is not too shabby at all. 3 different kinds of micarta on this knife. In this case, we have the green burlap here, and we are looking at a right hand carry only, and it is deep, but the screws are not recessed there. Not a huge deal, especially if you're looking in this price range here. But if you are looking in the $20 to $30 range, this is easily a great knife to consider, given that it's $21. Now, this is a knife I need to turn you on to because of its price tag, and this is an earlier one from Fintizo. This is the Atlas, and they have a series of knives, so each knife they have comes in a bunch of different versions. As with the G10 one earlier, they just come in a wide range, and this particular one is coming in at 37 bucks, but there's a G10 one that comes in right around 30 bucks, and you're looking at 14C, done very well. They do a good job on their 14C. We have a cutout here and a flipper for deployment. A solid detent on this thing. We have good access to the liner. It is chamfered, it is jimped, exactly what we want to see there. And then we have some nicely and slightly contoured aluminum handles here, along with the back spacer. And then we have a milled steel clip here. And then there are some steel liners in there backing up that aluminum. This thing is really solid for $37. And we save some of the best for last. We're talking about the Olatin's G53 here. These come in right around 58 bucks, and you're going to be looking at a solid knife. I think Vastid or Kaiser does these knives, and that's a good thing. We're looking at 14C28N on our steel. Nice drop point blade. We have dual thumb studs here. Great sharpening choil. They have satin finish like this, and they also have coated versions. We are looking at an amazing crossbar lock here, which is why, you know, there's a few other factors, but really solid execution from tip to butt here. We are looking at a non-branded blade, just their little logo on the pivot. Solid crossbar, as I said, keeps your fingers out of the pathway of the blade, and you get a solid feeling action out of this thing. Slightly contoured G10 here, and they come in a wide range of colors, and Ultim as well. Steel liners, G10 backspacer, a nice minimal deep carry clip. It's recessed along with the screws. Only going to be for right hand carry though. Not a bad deal though at 58 bucks. One of my favorites in the budget category. And next up, this is going to be basically a kiss goodbye to this great knife. The titanium one was discontinued a while back, and now they have opted to discontinue the micarta T1. I don't know if they'll bring it back in another form or fashion. These are still available. You cannot get them on the Kaiser website, but you can get them off Amazon until they are gone. But they only have the black blade, black micarta. The green version is gone, but while they last, they're coming in right around 42 bucks, and that is an amazing deal, making it, on sale, the best knife on this list. We're looking at 43 bucks, 154 cm steel. It's got their PVD coating, nice drop point blade, dual thumb studs for deployment. Incredible, incredible action on the T1s, and that was the case for every single one I ever heard about. They are just flat out amazing. Great access to the liner here with a chamfer there. We have micarta. That is just some of the best production micarta that there is. Then we have a steel backspacer here, and then recessed steel liners backing up that micarta. Just a perfect specimen for an EDC knife. I will be sad to see these things go. Nice minimal deep carry clip, and then we have a lanyard hole built in there to the butt end. But the T1 definitely had a good run, and if it's something you've wanted to add to your collection, or you're looking to add a phenomenal knife to your collection that won't be around much longer, the Kaiser T1 is definitely the one I would go for almost across the board. You guys will have to let me know, what was your favorite knife from today's video? I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people. If you're new to my channel, click on that G-Ball Vision logo. That'll subscribe you to the channel, and then you can ring the bell to be notified anytime I release these videos. I'll pop up a couple new videos on your screen. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. I'll catch you on the next one.